All right, to finish this particular module or chapter, what we've done is to review the big picture factors that drive health, especially in more developed countries. These are the subjects of major debates which are highly theoretical and which raise again the problem that permeates every aspect of this MOOC. Is the health system a victim of its own success? MOOC Module 5 suggests yes, we've done a great job in saving lives. But on the other hand, are we going to extend life in such a way that we have people living in a very costly way for a very long time in poor health? If so, how does the system respond pragmatically to this challenge? Now, this is the subject of MOOC Module 6, which I'm going to move to later. Referring to readings, Wikipedia's got some useful entries that I've mentioned. The Max Planck Institute in Germany, the Max Planck Institute for Demographic Research, has free online articles which have been peer-reviewed. They're very, very good and cover many aspects of this module of the MOOC. For example, I refer you to Erpen and Vopel's article in the Max Planck Institute, the reprint of their paper in Science, The Broken Limits to Life Expectancy. This is the classical paper which supports extension. Vopel is one of the people who particularly have pushed this line, and he's I mean, I dispute some of his arguments, but I have to agree that he's very authoritative. There is a critique by Jacques Vallin and France Mesley in the French journal Population et Société, 2010. There is an English version of that, and that's online. And there was a long critique of of Erpen and Vopel by me and by a colleague, Jit Chung, which was published in the Italian journal Genus in 2005. We took a different view from Jacques Vallin and Mesley, although I would agree with their conclusion. The reason that we gave was rather different. Why we entered into this particular debate was that Erpen and Vopel used the white population of New Zealand as a case study. And what they were arguing was very, very, it's a very well written, very interesting article. What they were arguing was that in the 1920s, some of the great actuaries and demographers, Lotka, for example, who is superb, he was talking about what was the maximum human lifespan. And yet already at that time, the white population of New Zealand had passed that limit. Now, we explained why that was occurring, and it was a peculiarity of the time. Unfortunately, most of the rest of the articles I'm going to mention are not free online. For rectangularization, for those of you who read French, Raisonner le vieillissement in Population et Société by Michel Lévy is a very easy to read article, a very good summary. Then for overviews, I refer you to the great Olshansky and his colleagues in The Aging of Human Species. It's a great classical article in Scientific American. There's another Chung, Sue Chong, different from the Chung whom I work with, who with Jean-Marie Robin, Edward Tew and Graziella Caselli have written a very, very good article on 3 dimensions of the survival curve. That's a rather technical article, but it's a very good one. And the extension, of course, the papers by Vopel I've already mentioned, and he's got a whole run of them, give very good summaries. And again, that's in the Max Planck Institute, free online. For compression, the great classical article is by Fries, Aging, Natural Death and the Compression of Mortality in the New England Journal of Medicine. Quite an old article, but it also raises issues of the compression of morbidity and morbidity-mortality links. Another classical oldie is the article by Manton, Changing Concepts of Mortality and Morbidity in the Elderly Population, in the Millbank Memorial Fund Quarterly of 1982.